Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Fox at Fox Property Management. This is Fox Talks in late July 2026, and today we're going to talk about the real cost of self-managing your rental property. So it may save you some money, but it actually might not. And so that's the question is, does it save you money? Does it save you time? Does it save you energy? Does it save you mental load? And so that's the question. Oh, and I got to put my hat on for my Fox Talk. So here we go. All right. So every landlord hits this question eventually, which is, do you manage it yourself or hire someone? So a lot of new people that onboard with us have been self-managing, and they finally get to a point where they need to make that decision. So today I want to walk through what self-management actually costs, not just in dollars, but in time and risk and peace of mind. I'm not here really to tell you what to choose because we are not a hard sell sort of company. We really want people to choose management and to work with us because this is the right fit for them. But I just want you to see kind of the full picture as you're deciding, or if you're talking to somebody else. So first cost is time. Self-management sounds free until you add up the hours, right? Screening applicants, answering phone calls at night, on the weekends, about leaking faucets, chasing late rent, coordinating repairs, keeping up with changing landlord-tenant law. None of that shows up on a spreadsheet. Right? That's just time, it's mental load, but it's real. It's time you're not spending on maybe your job or your retirement or your family or maybe even finding your next property. The question isn't whether self-management takes time, it's whether that time is worth more to you somewhere else. So, I mean, I think there's lots of choices that we make to hire somebody to do something that gives us our time back. So time is a big one. Risk. Landlord-tenant law changes, they're happening, and they're happening in Colorado, and it's our job to know what they are and to come up with processes and procedures to handle them. So security deposit limits, notice requirements, really big change, fair housing rules, big deal with vetting, eviction procedures. If you miss something even by a day, it can set you back a month. So you miss one step and a simple move-out dispute turns into a lawsuit. A property manager carries that risk professionally with systems that we build to catch those mistakes. And when you're self-managed, you're just sort of carrying that liability yourself. And it's just on top of everything else you're doing. And, you know, if it's unfamiliar and uncertain, it can really take a load and give you a lot more to do than you maybe signed up for. So next would be vacancy. So, you know, in Colorado, vacancy hasn't been a big issue, but recently it's become a much bigger problem for us and for everybody who has an investment property. An empty unit is the single biggest financial risk in this business, and it's often invisible until it happens. Self-managing owners tend to advertise less aggressively. They price units based on gut rather than really checking the market data, and they take longer to turn a unit around between tenants because it's not your full-time job. So you may not have the vendors or the time, or maybe you're on vacation during that week of transition. Every extra week vacant is real money gone. So it's the cost that's easiest to underestimate because it doesn't feel like an expense. It feels like there's nothing happening, but there's a lost opportunity. Maintenance would be next. This is where self-management quietly costs the most. Without an established network of vendors, you're either overpaying for emergency service, delayed repairs, but basically you're not at the top of the list of a vendor, right? So you're calling a vendor and hoping that they'll prioritize you. Both of those things can erode your tenant's trust if you don't have quick response, you don't have strong vendors. And so a delayed maintenance issue doesn't stay small. Oftentimes it will turn into something bigger. It causes more trouble. It might turn into a habitability issue. So a minor tenant complaint becomes a bad review or a broken lease, and it's just a huge bummer. The costs that don't show up on paper, here's what I really want to leave you with, which is the biggest cost of self-management, which isn't just the financials at all. It's the mental load. You know, it's always being reachable, always half thinking about the property, even while you're out to dinner or on vacation. There's a strain on relationships when a tenant crisis interrupts, you know, let's say you're in the middle of a kid's soccer game or something and you have to stand up and go deal with a crisis. There's a decision fatigue. So every choice, you know, from rent increases to eviction it all lands on you with no second opinion, and you've got to manage it. And there's the opportunity cost of your own time and expertise, and every hour spent chasing a maintenance vendor is an hour not spent doing the thing that you are good at or the way you want to spend time. So none of this means that self-management's the wrong choice. Plenty of owners do it well, especially with 1 or 2 units and the right systems in place and the right energy and mindset around it. But it is a choice, and there's real weight and cost to it. So time, risk, vacancy exposure, maintenance burden, and the quieter costs of stress and attention that don't show up on the financial spreadsheet, but they definitely show up in your experience. So the real question isn't really, can I do this myself? Of course you can. There are ways to do it. There are tools. Most owners can do it. It's, what am I trading to do it myself? What is the trade-off? What is that trade actually worth to me right now? That's the honest way to make this decision. Eyes open, full picture, just think about, is this the way you want to spend time, or is it time to make that move and have someone manage for you? So if you're already using us for management and you already know the answer to all these questions, or you're considering going back to self-management, or you have someone in your life who self-manages and you've been trying to talk them into going over to full management to take the stress off, you can send them this little video or have them reach out to us directly. We're always available. Love to have conversations with you and people that you know, and hope you have a great rest of your day.